we as an administration have made the downtown Inslee district our #1 priority to revitalize.
Anyone else? Councilor Wood?
Yeah, this is a little bit slightly off topic. This is a question for you. How do you think the banks respond to this, just in terms of how they value that area? You know, right now, I guess the area may be devalued, quote unquote. Do you think the banks kind of see what we're doing and begin to add value to the area?
Yeah, I think we see ourselves, and we've had a conversation, particularly with Brian, who's here today. We've had a conversation about this isn't just there's been a single story told about Inslee that's been negative. And one of the things that we're trying to do is turn the focus on its assets. I haven't spoken in a room yet that believed that Inslee had created jobs in the last 5 years. And it's because there's been a negative stereotype that's been allowed to define that neighborhood for a very long time. Our goal is to actually sit down with property owners and banks and help convene meetings and say, this is a focus area for us because it should be.
And I've met with Mr. Rice several times. And as you know, what was mentioned earlier is I'm the founder of the largest CRA organization in the world, and Bob Dickerson is the chair of that entity. So what we have promised Mr. Rice is we will convene a meeting here in Birmingham, and actually it'll be in Inslee, and we will have the comptroller of the currency, we'll have the FDIC, and we'll have the Federal Reserve. In fact, we'll ask the Federal Reserve to be the host of the meeting, and you have your local Federal Reserve office here. We will then invite each of the banks that's in this market to come to that meeting. And basically what we will do there is we will lay out how all of the regulators, all three of them, have identified that you can take an area and draw a green line around it and call it your redevelopment area. The loans and investments you make there will not be judged against the rest of your portfolio as a bank. So that gives them more creativity, if you will, as to how they can work in the redevelopment area. But the beauty of having the regulators in the room is that no one from the bank can say that we're wrong. The regulators will say, yeah, you can do that. And so we think that'll put a lot of strength into that situation. I have personal relationships with the leadership at Regions. I have personal relationships with the CEO of BB&T. I guarantee you we're going to solve that problem.
I appreciate that, because I recognize a lot of the property owners in the area, and I think that, like I said, it would just be a real disservice if they didn't have opportunities to benefit, through the investment in city space. So
it's un-American.
Right. So,
it's un-American.
Hello, my name is Brian Rice, and I have property at 610 19th Street as well as 615 19th Street. We can't allow what's happening to Inslee to keep happening. I'm very passionate about this thing, and I know my voice changes, and I'm not the only one. We can't get funding for downtown Inslee. Inslee has been a red line, and I have buildings. I have 8 buildings, and Synovus Bank told me my buildings have zero value. Zero value. And met with my attorney, and we're gonna do a press release. We're gonna make this public. And I know there's at least 10 or 20 other people who are struggling to get money from Regions Bank, BBVA, Wells Fargo, and we must stand up for our community. Because the only reason why my buildings are not renovated is because they say my buildings have zero value. If these buildings was in Avondale, they would have 100% value. So we need people to stand up for us. I know when I first moved back to Birmingham, I think it was in downtown Birmingham, they had something called a float loan, where I think either you put up 20% or you put up 10% or 30%. And the city was backing these loans for downtown development by 30%. So the Regions of the world and the Wells Fargos of the world would fund these projects. We need some type of incentives that's gonna make these banks fund us in Inslee.
We must work together to make a difference. I like your passion. I'm here to help. I'm here to represent. I will fight as hard as you and along with you to make a difference. You have my pledge on that. thank you for coming forward.
Thank you.
I have over 30 people that are ready to lease from me, but I have no bank that I know of that will lend in this community. And I don't know of any government official that will stand up against the area banks regarding redlining in downtown Ensley and other areas in Birmingham. I know I need help. I need ordinary people and wealthy people. Some that can give, some that can donate, some that can invest, some that can loan, some that can partner, and I also need some that can buy buildings and put the right businesses in some of these buildings. All I care about is moving this community forward. I don't care where you are in this country. I need you to invest in this community. I care about getting the visions off the ground for this community. If you don't want to invest in me, invest in yourself and bring your vision here. I don't have to own these buildings, but I'm going to protect what goes in them. Help me bring contractors, video production, workforce development, entrepreneurship, artists, restaurants, business incubators, and so much more to downtown Ensley.